Master Your Mindset Radio, Episode 27.
Welcome to Master Your Mindset Radio, the show where we empower you to conquer limiting beliefs and transform your world with your gifting and purpose. Now for your host, Elizabeth Nader.
Hey, my friends, welcome back to another episode. So glad to have you here. I hope you all got a chance to listen to last week's episode. It was on what to do when you are feeling overwhelmed. And I got a lot of good feedback from that, a lot of people who felt that it helped them. So if you didn't get a chance to listen to that, go back, take a listen, because in that, really there are some nuggets for all of us to remember when we are struggling or feeling really overwhelmed. And this kind of brings me to today's topic, which has just been kind of on my heart. And when I'm trying to think about which thing I want to share on a podcast, I just sort of let myself think about all the interactions I've had during the week and all the people I've met with and really meaningful conversations that I've had. And when I do that, something always rises to the top. And sometimes I don't know until it just hits me what I should talk about and what really is something that I think people need to hear. Today's message comes from that very experience from this week, and I want to title it, Embrace Your Adversity. Embrace your adversity. So here's what I want to say to you. I think that one thing we fail to remember is that everyone we meet is fighting something. And most of you have seen that quote online that talks about be kind to everyone because everyone's facing some kind of battle that you're not aware of. And it's a good quote and it's true. But I'm not sure that we really walk that out and we're really intentional about that every day. When you think about it, you just are not aware of what the other person that you're talking to, interacting with, doing business with, the person who's checking you out at the grocery store, standing there ringing up your groceries, anybody that you interact with anywhere, that person who's driving crazy next to you that you're getting upset with, whatever. Everybody's fighting some kind of battle. Now, the reality is that we as well are fighting some kind of battle. It's not just the people around us. Everybody has something in any given day, any given moment that they're fighting. Yes, sometimes they're bigger battles. Yes, sometimes they are life-changing battles. Some people are fighting things for their health. Some people are fighting, the demise of a relationship or a job loss. But sometimes it's things that are just day-to-day, smaller things that are weighing on people. And they can affect how they act. They affect the way they see their world. And therefore, a lot of times they'll affect the way they interact with other people. So we need to give people more grace and more mercy. But you too are fighting a battle. And I know that we as a society tend to really put focus on the people whose battles are public. So we put up on a pedestal somebody, for example, who let's say has a physical challenge, and that person is pushing through that physical challenge and doing something big with their life. And we see that on a public stage, right? An amputee, for example, who is, running a marathon, somebody who's maybe wheelchair bound, who's giving motivational speeches, people that have taken extreme situations that you can see in their lives, public situations, defeat, illness, tragedy, and turn that around and use that to really walk in their purpose, further their purpose, and to try to change other people's lives and encourage other people. And so we as a society, we love those stories, and we should, because that is the human spirit, right? Overcoming adversity. It's just amazing when you see it, and it always makes you feel like I can do it too. If that person with all the odds stacked against them can do what they're doing, then I can face my battles. So it's really, incredible to have those examples for us. So it encourages us, but I think we tend still not to embrace our adversity. And that is my message for you today. Are you really embracing your adversity? Because while I can look at someone who's overcome great odds that you can see, right, that you hear about, there's a story, they're doing a TED Talk, they wrote a book, whatever it is, talking about this massive adversity and how they overcame it. I can see that, I can celebrate that, but then I come home, I go back to my office, I wake up the next day in my life, and if I have adversity, it's easy for me, it's easy for you to complain about that adversity and not just complain about it, but feel like, man, I really can't move forward with this thing that's coming against me. And we wish we didn't have it. We wish it away. We think about and fantasize about what would it be like if we didn't have that particular adversity in our life. We wish we could get past it, right? We're counting the days until that adversity and that cloud lifts in our life. We're just not enjoying the experience of going through whatever that difficulty is. And of course, you want adversity to pass. None of us want that in our life. None of us want to have difficult things. But if we were to, rather than try to escape it as quickly as possible, what if we were to embrace it? I mean, really, that's what people who we put up on a pedestal have done. People who sort of couldn't avoid their adversity. I mean, if you are a double amputee, you cannot avoid the fact that that's what's happened in your life, and you have a choice to make. Do you want to still run in marathons and show that you can overcome this, or do you just want to give up on your life? I mean, it's a choice. You're not going to be able to avoid making that choice. But the adversities that no one sees in our lives, the ones that when we go home and we shut that front door and we're facing those adversities in our family, in our relationships, in our business, in our career, that maybe everyone doesn't know about, that maybe sometimes only we know about, or just a handful of people, things that we don't share with other people, things that we keep quiet. Are we really embracing those, or are we just desperately hoping they would go away? Are we just hating the fact that we're facing that? Or are we instead saying, this is where I'm at, and whatever part I have to play in it, I'm going to embrace this adversity because it's going to make me better. You know, that's one of the quotes last week from the podcast that I think was so amazing from Jocko's book, that was, you know, basically saying to the challenges, thank you, you made me better, right? Facing adversity and saying, thank you, it's going to make me better. Now, nobody really wants to have it. I mean, if I give you a choice, you know, let's take your family, for example. Like, you know, here's a teenager that's going to be a really perfectly behaving teenager until he, you know, moves out of your home, or here's one that's going to cause all kind of problems for you and all kind of challenges. Which one do you want? Here's a marriage that's going to be just perfect and rosy and, you know, just loving the whole time, or here's a marriage that's going to be bumpy and rocky. Which one do you want? We know which one we would choose of any of these things. Here's a financial situation that's going to be easy and simple and, you know, abundant, and here's one that's going to be challenging with huge peaks and valleys. Choose one. Well, human nature will choose the easy path, but that isn't the reality of life. And the best things that happen to us, really, in terms of our purpose, are born usually out of adversity. Think about it. The most amazing things that you've done or are going to do have been or will be born out of adversity. Because isn't that really where value lies? Isn't that really what makes a difference in this world? Is when we conquer adversity, when we find a way to not give up, but figure out how to navigate that challenge that we're in. Sometimes we find ourselves in it. Sometimes our choices have created it, but regardless, there we are. And isn't that the beauty that comes from ashes, as they say, right? That the advantage that can come out of the disadvantage. I mean, that's what we celebrate as a society. That's what we do when we put people on a pedestal who have overcome their adversity in a way that we so admire, and, you know, they've embraced it. But yet we go home to our adversity and we don't want to embrace it. We want to run from it. But what if it's there purposely to make you better? What if that adversity is there to bring you that much closer to your destiny? What if that adversity is there so that you, in conquering it, can help someone else do the same? That's what purpose is, guys. We talk about that all the time. is making someone else's life here on earth that much better by your experience, by your gifts, by the talents you've developed, by the things that you've gone through. So what if adversity had that very nature wrapped up inside of it? That if I conquer this, then I'm actually not only going to move into a new, higher area of my life and my influence in this world, but I'm going to bring people with me and help others. So what if actually adversity is in fact a major blessing? It's not easy to embrace that. Not when you're in the heat of it, not when something that you're facing just seems like it's going to take you down, not when it's been years and years and you're tired of it, not when it seems so unfair, right? So difficult. It's hard to say, oh, let me embrace this. But what if we did that? What if we changed the way we looked at it? I mean, if the adversity isn't leaving, what do we have control over? We have control over one thing, don't we? We talk about it all the time. That is our mind, how we choose to use it, how we choose to direct it. And really, it follows, it's our attitude. So there is our adversity. What is our choice? Do we embrace it and actually find out what it can do for us and who it's going to turn us into and how it's going to propel us? Or do we try to run away from it? Do we try to avoid it, not deal with it? Do we complain about it? Does it really just decimate our daily lives because we can't operate? That is our choice. Which way are we going to face the adversity? Which attitude are we going to have towards the adversity? And do not for a second think that you are the only one. We have a tendency to look around us and think, well, that person seems to be making it okay. It seems to be happy. Their family is in a good place, their business, their career, whatever. Obviously, they're not going through anything. You know better than that. You know better than that. Not that it should make you feel better that other people face adversity, but the idea that you're alone in this isn't true. It just isn't true. We all face it. And I get that lesson so many times. I follow certain coaches online, and sometimes when you have mentors and coaches, you tend to look up at them in a way like their adversity is behind them, right? One of the reasons I admire this person or I follow this person is because they tell stories of the adversity that they've already been through and how they've conquered it, and that encourages me. And so you tend to think, well, their adversity is behind them, but is it? I have one coach in particular. I have followed her and learned from her and been mentored by her for over 10 years now. And it wasn't until recently that she's been sharing how 5, 6, 7 years ago, when all of us thought she had it all together, and she was talking about how far she had come and the things that she had done, and her talent is amazing and her mentorship is amazing. But it turns out during that time, she was going through one of the most difficult times in her life with her health and with her marriage, but nobody knew. Nobody knew. So here we were learning from her, and she had so much to give, and really thinking that she had come so far, but not understanding that she was actually in a fight at that moment. But it was all in how she handled it. It was all about her attitude and how she managed her response to it. Now she can come out 6 years later and say, hey guys, this is what I learned through more adversity that you didn't even realize I was going through at the time. Everybody has something. Everybody has that in common. Some days, not much. Other days, it's more difficult. But this is part of living, isn't it? But I want to use the word excited. I hate to say that, but be encouraged, I guess, about your adversity. Maybe be excited to conquer it. Maybe that's the way to say it. Because it will change you for the better. It will help you understand your gifts. It will help you develop your purpose in life. It will help you understand how your influence can grow, because you're going to overcome adversity that then someone else will face, and it will make you stronger, and you will be able to help other people. So can we start to embrace our adversity? Can we start to change our attitude towards it? And can we be really sensitive and kind to others, knowing that everyone has something? They may not share it with you, but they definitely have something. And you know what? Ultimately, that thing will pass. But it's how we choose to handle that moment of adversity, which will either change us for the better and make us that much stronger, or the lesson will be lost. Let's not lose out on those lessons. I only want to continue to strengthen myself. So whatever I have to face on a day-to-day basis, I want it to make me better. And I encourage you to have an attitude that way as well towards your adversity. And it's all about mindset. It's all coming back to the same thing. It's all about how we choose to look at something. It's as easy as that and as hard as that, right? It's an attitude. It's the way you train your thoughts. And then after that, it's the words that you say. It all follows of how we look at our lives. So if we think the wrong thoughts and say the wrong words, then everything in our life will follow that path. So the adversity is not going to leave. The only thing that's going to change until it's over, until that season is over, the only thing that can change is the way you address it, the way you deal with it, the way you think about it, the words that you say, the choices that you make. That is your control. And no matter how long that adversity lasts, that particular adversity, you need to stay in a posture of positive thinking, positive talking, and control over the way you react to your adversity. And you see yourself embracing it and saying, thank you. This is making me better. What can I learn from this? And see yourself on the other side of it. See yourself a champion on the other side of that adversity, and see yourself being cheered on by people all around you saying, you made it, you did it, you overcame that, and now I'm learning from you, because that's what it's all about. But to do that, guys, you have to work on your mindset. I cannot stress that enough. I've told you many times, I work on my mindset every single day. I read, I listen to podcasts, I listen to audiobooks, I journal, I pray, I meditate, I follow other coaches. I do it as much as I can because I can't grow without that, and neither can you. And in order to overcome adversity, in order to get your mindset where it needs to be, you have to invest the time to do it. This isn't going to happen just with positive thoughts. This isn't going to happen just because you want it in your life. You have to take action. You have to step out. And you have to develop that muscle. And the more that you do that, the more that you live that way, the more that you're always training your mind. When adversity comes, you're ready for it. It may knock you off a little bit at first, but pretty quickly you will come back and say, whoa, okay, I know what to do here. It's all about my attitude. It's all about my mindset. And each time adversity comes, you react to that much more quickly. You know what to do that much more quickly. And it does make a difference, and your life will change. Adversity won't stop, but the impact it has on your life and its desire to derail you, all of that will lose some of its steam, because you will know how to respond, and you will know how to embrace it and use it for good in your life. And that's what you need to learn. So to do that, it's mindset work. It's mindset work all the time, and constantly training your mind to think different, training your thoughts, and rewriting those beliefs that are held in your subconscious that we talk about all the time. This is work you've got to do. And in order to do that, you need coaches. You need good books. You need good words spoken over you. You need good advice. You need the right people in your life telling you things that will lift you up, that will open your eyes. You need to be careful what you surround yourself with, because you are a combination of all the things you listen to and read, the advice that you get, the people that you follow, the people that you trust. All of that becomes part of you. So I encourage you to be careful about what you're listening to, especially in times of great adversity. Keep your focus on where it needs to be. And I invite you guys, this mindset reset that's on March 28th, I keep talking about it, but I have to tell you that you cannot get to where you want to be without effort. All of us that have built businesses know that. All of you that have invested in your career to get those promotions and move up the ladder, you have to invest time, effort, resources. So the same thing is true if you really want to reach the next level in your mindset and understand the tools that you need to be able to win. You've got to invest the time, you've got to invest the resources. And I know what we're offering on March 28th is life-changing. And if any of you are even somewhat considering it, don't wait. Don't wait. I'm telling you, things like this will put you in the right direction. Things like this are like just a jump start to making changes in your life. Because without all of that, you can't do it on your own. You need the information, you need the learning, you need to go through the exercises, you need to be pushed, you need to be held, accountable to the change you want to see in your life. And I'm assuming you're listening to this because you want change. I'm assuming you're listening to this because you want to be encouraged and you want to continually challenge yourself to make sure you're reaching for goals in your life and seeing great results. As long as you're here, there's always something to reach for. So don't wait to sign up for that on March 28th. You will be so bummed if you miss out. And if you know anyone in your life who really needs that shot in the arm, that needs to see kind of a clear path of where they're going, who needs to overcome some toxic thinking, who needs to deal with some limiting beliefs, or even if you're in a place that's pretty good right now, but you want to take it to the next level, because you know what? There's always a higher plane. There's always more we can accomplish. This is the kind of work that we do together in an intensive, in an incredible environment where you are supported, you are pushed, and you learn techniques to really strengthen your mindset and begin to see the possibilities that will bring into your life. So don't forget to sign up and do it soon before it closes out. It's on March 28th. It's in northern New Jersey. It's worth coming to, even if you need to travel a little bit. You want to talk about it with me? Call me. Send me an email. We'll set up a time to talk on the phone so that you can understand better how this is a match for you. If you go to mindsetreset2020.com, you'll see the information there. The registration now is only going to be open for a few more weeks, not even, I think, a couple more weeks. So don't wait too long. I hear a lot of chatter out there, but when it's closed, it's closed. So I'm really excited about that. And I pray that you guys this week will look at your adversity differently, that you will say, thank you, you're making me better, and you will embrace your adversity. I want you to almost imagine yourself on a public stage telling the story about that thing that came against you and that you overcame, and listening to the cheers from the crowd who are so inspired by what you were able to do. It doesn't have to be a story that changes the world. It just needs to impact your world. And every story of overcoming adversity is worth being embraced. Every story of overcoming adversity is stupendous in its very nature of the fact that you were able to change your mindset and see the other side of adversity, which is always beneficial to your future and to those people around you. So that's what we're going to start to do, is embrace our adversity. And guys, don't forget to join the Facebook group, because I try to give you daily encouragement and videos and things that will help keep you in the right mindset. So when adversity comes, you know what to do. You have the knowledge to overcome it, to embrace it, and to be that much stronger. Guys, have a great week. Don't forget about Mindset Reset. God bless you, and may you guys all overcome everything that's in front of you this week. Talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to Master Your Mindset Radio. Before you go, if you want to be part of a free online community of like-minded individuals for support, resources, and inspiration as you conquer your limiting beliefs and pursue your purpose, go to elizabethnader.com/community. That's elizabethnader.com/community, or search for Master Your Mindset Academy private group on Facebook. Looking forward to seeing you online.